I'm going to start this off. Number one, I think the Padres are a playoff team. I really do. And I know a lot of it's going to depend on what happens in the National League Central and the National League East. I'm still not a believer in the Mets. I am a believer in their manager, Carlos Mendoza. And I think, Mendoza's a good manager. Obviously, Brian Snitker's a good manager. And I think those two teams are going to be, vying for playoff spots. National League Central, it's a crapshoot. Everybody's kind of anointing the Cubs, and we'll see. Cardinals, I don't expect them to be all that great. Everybody's saying, "Oh, the Pittsburgh Pirates don't have enough depth. They just flat out don't have enough of depth." Cincinnati Reds, I think you got to give them a good hard look. They got some pitching. They got some dudes that can hit. They hit it in a hitter friendly ballpark, and they got one of the best managers in baseball coming back in Terry Francona. So National League Central, Milwaukee, they're not going to go away. So you got some teams right there that could beat up on one another, but they're all viable, not only to win division titles, but to get in as a wild card. But I think out of the National League West, I think you got three teams. I really think between the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, and the Padres, those are three playoff caliber teams. Dodgers are going to win the division. Let's not fool ourselves. Okay, there's no way anybody's going to beat the Dodgers in the division. They may win it by 10, 15 games. They can win it by how many they want to win it. If they want to win 115 games this year, they probably could, but they won't because they want to stay healthy. They're like the Padres with Darvish. They want to stay healthy and be ready for the postseason. Doesn't matter if you win 115 games. Win the division, be the number one seed, and you're sitting in the catbird seat. Dodgers are going to win the division, folks. I think the battle for second is going to be very interesting. And I think coming out of the gate, I would probably have to give the Diamondbacks a little bit of an edge because of the depth of their rotation and the uncertainty of the Padre rotation. I think the Diamondbacks have a really good lineup. I mean, they signed Josh Naylor. Naylor drove in over 100 runs last year with the Guardians, and he hit 31 home runs. And that's a pretty good hitter's ballpark over there in Arizona. Ketel Marte, I think one of the better players in the National League. I really do. But, can he stay healthy? Geraldo Perdomo, good young ball player, getting better. You got Eugenio Suarez at third base, got off to a miserable start last year and then heated up. And you got a good, solid outfield. And you got, Gabriel Moreno, the catcher, one of the best young catchers in baseball. He's right there. But you got a deep staff. When you take a look at what they got in their rotation, I mean, they got some dudes that can pitch a little bit. I think Torey Lovullo is a good manager. They bring in Corbin Burns. I mean, they got a lot over there in Arizona. But I think the Padres are going to be right there with them. I do think Arizona probably, I don't know, just by watching what they got, I'm thinking they get out of the gate a little bit quicker than the Padres do. So I'm going to give Arizona the nod. But again, it's not about winning the division anymore. It's about getting to the postseason. And look at last year, man. I mean, I'm going to go to my grave ticked off that the Padres didn't get to the World Series in 2024. They had that thing wrapped up. They were killing the Dodgers. They were killing them. Dodgers had no answer. And then the Padres all of a sudden forgot how to hit. I mean, the pitching wasn't bad. I mean, Darvish gave up those, 2 home runs and they got beat 2-0 in the one game? I mean, for crying out loud. 24 straight innings. I don't know if the Padres will go 24 innings scoreless again for 5 years. I watch they'll start the year like that, but I don't see it. I mean, I hope that's a motivator for the Padres. Padres got a good team, folks. And I know there are a lot of naysayers out there. And just because I'm picking them third doesn't mean I don't think they're a good ball club. I think they're a real good ball club. They've got a good core. They got a good nucleus. Just get into the tournament. Get into the tournament and match up your guys. Now, here's the deal. Padres have to be in it at the trading deadline because they're going to be over the threshold and they're going to have to pay. And they don't want to have to pay. So if they're out of it at the trading deadline, you might see King, you may see Cease, you may see a rise. If they're not making And I know they signed King for a 2-year deal, but that's a deal he'll get out of. And Cease probably not going to be able to afford him or rise. I mean, seriously, at the trading deadline, if the Padres are not knocking on the door of a playoff spot, they're going to get rid of money. Because at the end of the year, when they look at the bottom line of their payroll, where are they going to be? Are they going to be under the threshold or over the threshold? And they don't want to have to pay that extra money. So let's hope they get off to a good start. And really, it comes down to the players forcing ownership. I want you to listen to me on this. It comes down to the players forcing the front office and ownership to get them help if we're in the pennant race. Okay? If you're 2 games under 500, you're not exactly making a great statement to the front office that you're really in it. You've got to be at or above 500 at the trading deadline. If you're under, and you got to kind of see who's in front of you and what their record is and what their schedule looks like, you may be a seller rather than a buyer. You got to be over 500. If you're right at 500 or a little bit over, then hey, it comes down to AJ, the front office, and the ownership to ante up and get the Padres some help down the stretch. I don't want to see these guys go out the door. Now, I also realize that we're probably not going to be able to re-sign some of these guys. Let's be realistic. Get what you can out of them now, and let's see where this season can go. Let's make a run at the friggin' World Series, because it's going to be hard to replace Cease and King if they're not here next year. Musgrove will be coming back, but he'll be on an innings limit. Yu Darvish will be 39 going on 40 years of age. We don't know if Kyle Hart is going to end up being the guy, or Kolek or Vasquez. We don't know anything past this year. This is our year. Our window of opportunity is starting to close. And we got to keep it open as long as we can during this season and make a real run. That's what I got for you. Give me your opinion on that. Okay, so predictions. I got Dodgers 1. I got Arizona 2. I got the Padres 3. I got the Giants and Bob Melvin 4. And watch out for the Giants. They're all giddy up there because Buster Posey's now their head guy. So they got a little bounce in their step. First time they've had a bounce in their step in years up there. So, they may come out of the gate all fired up, and who knows, maybe they'll make a run. Maybe they'll be competition for us. I don't think they have enough to pass the Padres or the Diamondbacks, but the Giants are going to be competitive. And then you got the Colorado Rockies and Buddy Black. Buddy will get those guys to play as well as they can. But at the end of the day, they just don't have enough. They got some nice players, though. Tovar, Doyle, Tovar, the shortstop, Doyle, the center fielder. Those guys are good players. Doyle's won a couple of Gold Gloves. Man, he can go get the ball. And now he's starting to hit a little bit, too.